Joining us now on the market is one of the biggest developers you have from the state of Maharashtra, a private developer nevertheless, but very well respected for the views and getting the market right. Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani joining us live. Good morning, this is Nayanthara. So we've been hearing about these coastal rules for so long. Now all of you can build taller and bigger towers closer to the beach, if I can say that, closer to the coastline. What is this really going to mean for the property market in Mumbai? Let's begin with that. What is going to be the impact? You can suddenly have more supply that can come into the market as well.
Nayanthara, glad to talk to you. Top of the morning, I'm at Amritsar Airport, but it's a pleasure to talk to you always. The good news is that the jhopatpattis and the redevelopment buildings, which were stuck because they could not use the higher FSI for the purposes of redevelopment of slums, redevelopment of old and dilapidated buildings, will now be permitted in this area of CRZ to be able to use the full FSI, and those buildings which are falling, crumbling, or the jhopatpattis are there, redevelopment in this coastal belt can take place. So I think this is a very good thing. We're waiting for it only for 7 years. So I'm glad that finally this has happened, and I think that's good news for these areas. Number two, this is for Mumbai city and suburbs. We expect that in another 15 days, we should be able to get it for the purposes of Thane and the other peripheral areas also. So that's the second anticipation taking place. And the third, there is the issue of flamingo issues. The final notification is to come, where the distance of 10 kilometers was to be brought down to 3.5 kilometers. This affects the entire Thane and the central suburbs. So it's not just one thing which is required to be corrected, Nayanthara. Lots of things more to come, but it's expected in the near future. This is the information that we have, and I'm happy to share that with you. It's good news for all.
So good news for all, not just the city of Mumbai. So Mr. Hiranandani, you kind of I think we've lost the feed with Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani. He did say that, he was in the Amritsar airport, and as we all know, usually you do have technical problems with the network, don't you, at the airports? We've all gone through it, though I haven't been to an airport since 2019. Till then, let's touch base with our chartists, Kunal Botra and Naresh Marani, who continue to be with us. Oh no, we have Mr. Hiranandani back with us. Hope we have you on a better connection. Perils of live television. You're of course at the airport as well. So Mr. Hiranandani, you were saying that this could go beyond Mumbai. Are we going to see new coastal rules, let's say for example in Goa? Can it come up in Alibag, which is now a new property hot market as well? What about Orissa, Puri? Is that expected?
Nayanthara, the problem of the coastal zone management plans and the zones was pending with the government for quite some time, both with the state and the center. And the good news is Mumbai city and suburbs is cleared, but Thane and the peripheral areas like Raigad are still to be cleared. I don't know about Orissa, to be honest with you. I'm not in touch recently, but I do know that those zone plans were also pending. But they are not so urgent. Here in the case of Mumbai, it is terrible because slums are in a bad shape, no development, buildings are crumbling, some of the buildings have collapsed, and still we cannot redevelop them there. So I think it's a damn good news that we have here this last few days, that they have made the CRZ and things are going to be better, not better, much better. Because we are waiting for 7 years. It's been a hell of a long time, Nayanthara, for something like this to happen. But I'm glad that it has finally happened and taking off.
Mr. Hiranandani, Alex joining in as well, and great to speak with you. This certainly is a boon that we're able to speak with you despite the fact that you're in the airport there. But talk to us about how things are going on the ground. As if I look outside my window where I'm staying in Chembur, I see a lot of activity on the ground. Things as far as construction of buildings, it's really picking up pace. Would you say then that the situation is much, much better than it has been in the past few months and things have normalized somewhat?
So I'm going to use an economic term called the K-shaped recovery. So there are segments of the real estate which are booming. Bangalore is booming. Some of the suburbs of Mumbai are booming. Thane is booming. Navi Mumbai is booming. Lot of projects which were stuck earlier, especially in the NCR region, certain areas of the peripheral of Mumbai region also. Some projects have been stuck. Those projects are still not taking off for lack of funds, for lack of permission from RERA, from lack of, even in some of the projects, there are no workers because they have not paid the workers. So we have a K-shaped recovery in the real estate field. So the K-shaped in other fields, now ET now can tell you about K-shaped in real estate also. So you're going to get good, bad, and ugly. Certain projects are doing fantastic. Even the listed companies, Godrej, Tata's, DLF, all of them are doing well. Private companies are doing very, very well in segments of it. But there are private companies not doing well. Omkar, which was the redevelopment entity, is doing very badly. So all these problems we have to face as a K-shaped recovery, good, bad, and ugly also. So I would say fantastic news in terms of environmental clearance, good for the industry, and good for the people also, good for the people in dilapidated buildings. So I think good news.
Okay, certainly. So, based on what you're saying, and also based on what you said in terms of the good news for the capacity that you will have in terms of the expanded FSI available, is there now, in terms of the demand supply mix, potential for significant development, Mr. Hiranandani, or are developers going to be a little cautious in terms of the buildings that they currently make?
It takes a long time to get all these building approvals done in case of slums and all that. So don't expect everything is going to be supply in a hurry. But it's a good start. In over a period of time, certainly these things are going to have a positive impact. Every step that you take in the direction is good. The lower rate of interest, which is there, is fantastic in the recent past. Kotak reduced it, State Bank has reduced it, Baroda has reduced it. So interest rates are the lowest in my whole lifetime. I've never seen such low rates of interest in case of home loans. This is happening. Certain states are wanting to further increase stamp duty rates in the future. That is going to be another expected, hopeful that those things are going to happen. Positive news in terms of all these things happening and development is taking place, but K-shaped. Not all companies are doing very well. And even on the commercial side, there are companies which have done fantastically in the commercial side in the last quarter, including our company. So we are going to see a good amount of commercial development, which was disappeared, and this work from home, which was there, was preventing companies from taking new commercial space. But now, the good news is many people are taking commercial space. Good news in Bangalore, good news in MMR, good news in parts of NCR.
Mr. Hiranandani, I was talking to a developer from the private space in NCR. He says life has never been so good. I've done business for 6,000 crore rupees in the last 5 months. You've talked about some other companies. What about you? Give us a sense. You pretty much built Navi Mumbai too.
So we are doing very, very well. Residential has gone up by almost 50%. Commercial, we are doubling the quantum of commercial in our project. We sold $1 billion worth of 4.2 million square feet 3 years ago to Brookfield. We are going to add 6 million square feet in the next 1 year or so. So we are going quite bullish. Company is doing pretty well. We are also diversified where my son takes leadership in the data center space, in the warehousing space along with Blackstone, and also the energy space, which my son again heads, of H Energy in terms of gas and pipelines and terminals and the floating LNG terminals. So lots of good news coming in for our company too.
That's right. Darshan Hiranandani has his hands full, doesn't he? And he's going to be competing, if I may say so, with some of the biggest industrial groups, for example, Adani and Bharti when it comes to data centers, and of course with Adani again and RIL in the energy space. But before I let you go, Mr. Hiranandani, you know, the festive season is here. You talked about interest rates being at all-time low, how builders are doing really, really well. You took a couple of names as well. So as Shraddh ends, Navratras begin. This festive season, what is the expectation? Will many of you have to outdo each other? Are we going to start seeing a price war as everybody competes in this comeback?
No. Demand is pretty high. I don't think there's so much of a price war. I see a price increase with raw material prices going up and competition being what it is. I think there is not to worry whatsoever. Demand is hugely increased. And
Demand is hugely increased, interest rates are at all-time low, maybe prices will go up as you're of course seeing raw material costs go up. Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani joining us live from the Amritsar airport.